Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jeff Sherwood, and you are live in my kitchen. I am coming to you live from my kitchen, and this is a place that I have been longing to see for days now. I just spent 29 hours at McCarran Airport in Las Vegas. Just one thing after another kept happening to me. My original flight got delayed twice and then eventually canceled. And the only other option they could put me on was another flight that took off like hours later, like at the end of the night. And so I've been wanting to see this place for a long time now. And I just got back from Las Vegas yesterday morning, as a matter of fact. Got back, and man, it's just been a crazy adventure over the last week. I took off last Tuesday, and had a great time at the Rise event held by Empower Network. Man, I can't thank everybody who was involved enough for what they did for us out there in Las Vegas, because I went to the Unleash event in Nashville, and so I already knew kind of what to expect. But I got to tell you guys, I was blown away by the event in Las Vegas. It was truly a sight to see. It was something that will be burned into my memory for years to come, because it was there that I finally had a breakthrough and finally realized what this whole online business is really about. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. And so, yeah, the first thing I want y'all to do is, if you see below, right down there, right? Yeah, down there, you see it. You'll see the live fire comments section. What I want you to do is log in right now. I want you to log in. You can log in with all your various social networks, email, whatever you need to log in with. There's plenty of options for you to be able to log in and chat with me live, right? Because I'm going to be holding a Q&A session. And if you're on YouTube watching this, feel free to join us over on moneybuysdreams.com/hangout. Because you don't want to miss out on the opportunity that I'm going to be presenting to you tonight. First off, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not here to force you to buy anything or anything like that. I will be presenting an opportunity to you, but that's exactly what it is. It's an opportunity for you. It's not this is not a sales pitch or anything else. This is what I learned at the Rise event, right? So no matter who you were sent here by, if you were sent here by Dave Ranica, Stephen Pearson, Ryan Maynard, Wade Baskin, Wade Hamill, Carl. Damn it, I can never remember Carl's last name. Jennifer Hill, Chris Byers, or any of the rest of the community that I'm involved in. Johnny Sherwood, my cousin. You've got to listen to everything that I'm saying tonight, guys. I'm saying this for your benefit. So I'm glad that you showed up. Just you showing up is showing that you're an action taker, right? And it's showing that you're really, truly interested in making money on the internet. And that's what I'm going to be providing for you tonight, because you know just as well as I do how many scams are out there and how many no good companies are out there that promise you the world and never deliver, right? Well, we happen to be involved in one of the greatest companies that I have ever seen in all of my 7 years of internet marketing. And I would really love it if you were a part of that too. However, I'm only looking for 5 people who see this as an opportunity to work with someone who has experience in this industry and who can take you to that level that you want to be at, right? So keep that in mind as you watch this hangout. There are buttons below, right below this video you're watching right now, that will take you to either get instant access. What that's going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to sign up for a trial, right? You're going to get 7 days of the Kalatu blogging system, which is the most powerful blogging system that I have ever seen. And I'm not just saying that because I'm involved with this company. I'm saying that from 7 years of experience. So you'll get an opportunity to use that. Not only that, but you're going to get 2 full months of the Kalatu affiliate program, or the Empower affiliate program, right? So you're going to get that for two full months plus a 7 days of the Klaatu blogging system, right? So you definitely want to take advantage of that. And if you need more information about that, I have also placed a button right below the Get Access Now button that says Learn More. Go over there, put in your email address, and learn more about this opportunity, because we're not one of those businesses that's fly by night or promises you the world. We are one of those businesses that delivers what we promise. So I want you to be a part of this with us, because the truth is we're going to do this with or without you, but we'd rather do it with you, because we are a team of people who are seeking freedom, who are going to do what we want to do on our own terms. We are going to live life the way that we want to live it, and we are going to break free from the government system that we've been placed in since the day we were born. And guys, if you're here right now looking for something different, then that means you're not satisfied with the way your life is going, right? So I know you, trust me. I know you because I know myself, and I'm the same way. So that's why I identify with you so well, right? So I'm going to take just a second, let you get logged in to the commenting system, and I'm looking at that commenting system. So I'm going to be able to interact with you live tonight, right here. So if you have any questions whatsoever, then make sure that you ask those questions. Don't be afraid. Just, you know, you can ask anything like, Jeff, why is your hair so short? Or Jeff, how do I get an epic beard like that? Or, you know, anything, you know, but I prefer you ask questions about the business, but you're definitely allowed to ask anything you want, and it's going to get answered. And if I don't see your comments, I promise you that my team members that are here right now will see your comments and will answer your questions. But I will be keeping an eye on that commenting session. So make sure that you're logged in and ready to go. So I'm going to take just a brief moment and let you do that. And while you're doing that, after you get logged in, you can see the social share buttons right above this Hangout video and right below the commenting section. So do me a favor. This is a brand new Hangout, right? This is brand new. I just put this up like literally 2 hours ago, right? So I need for you to do me a favor, and in return, I'm going to do you a huge favor, right? I'm going to share some massive value with you that you're going to get for absolutely free. So what I need you to do for me is hit that Facebook button, hit that Twitter button, that Google Plus button, whatever social networks you're the most active on. Will you do me a favor and just share this Hangout for me? It would mean a ton to me, because I really want to get the word out there and reach as many people as I can. And by the end of this Hangout, you're going to know why, right? You're going to know why I want to reach so many people, because you're going to want to do the same thing. Once you get involved in this business with me, you're going to want to do the same thing, right? So I'm going to take just a 30-second to a minute pause, let everybody get in, log in, and then we'll get this thing started, right? I want to tell you what my biggest breakthrough was at the Rise event in Las Vegas. So I'm going to take just a 30-second pause and let you do that, right? Yes, Carl, I cut my hair. I cut my hair. It was getting too long for me. It's really hot here. The humidity is literally probably like 95% here. It's ridiculous. You walk outside and you need a shower because you're just wet from head to toe. It's rough here. So yes, I cut my hair. What's the weather like up there in Canada, Carl? All right, I see people logging in here. I see them logging in. I see all of y'all logging in. Can you do me a favor and just comment? I want to know where you're from. Where are you watching from right here tonight? Where are you watching from? And if you want to, feel free to share a picture of what you're doing right now, right? You know, share a picture. If you're out and about and you're watching this Hangout, that's great. If you're at your home, that's great. Hey, I love seeing people with pictures in their pajamas, right? So I mean, that's literally the lifestyle, right? That's the lifestyle that you know, that we should all do, right? We should be pajama entrepreneurs. All right, so everyone has had a chance to log in. It's 26 Celsius. I'm not really sure what that equates to in Fahrenheit. We go by Fahrenheit here in the US, but 26 sounds pretty hot. I'll give you that. 26 sounds pretty hot. I try to keep up. I'm going to learn the Celsius system. That's my goal by the end of the year, is to know the Celsius system, right? Because a lot of the people that I talk to in this business, I've got friends all over the world, right? I've got friends in South Africa, Australia. You know, I got Carl up in Canada. We've got people on the West Coast of the United States, people on the East Coast. Man, I mean, this business will literally allow you to have friends all over the world. So, I've got to learn the Celsius system. I've literally got to learn it. I'm going to, right after this hangout, I'm going to find me a Celsius conversion table, because what I usually do is just go over to Google and say 26 Celsius to Fahrenheit. It spits out the temperature, right? But I'm going to actually learn the Celsius system. That's a huge goal of mine. You know, all right. So everyone has had a chance to log in. And for some of you, this is your first time seeing me, right? Because I advertise in so many places. I advertise all over Facebook, Twitter. You know, I do some YouTube stuff. So depending on where you're coming from, you probably don't know that much about me, right? So that leads me actually in to what my biggest takeaway from the Las Vegas event was, right? And, you know, I'm not going to lie to you. Las Vegas was an interesting trip for me. It was very out of my element. I had to fly to Las Vegas. And I'm someone who doesn't like to fly. I don't like to fly. I don't like, you know, I don't like the whole turbulence thing. I don't like sitting next to people that smell bad, just for lack of better words. They smell bad. They don't, you know, they don't have any sense of personal space. Like, you're already in a tight space, like, and you're just like, get away from me. And, you know, so I don't like to fly, right? So I was already out of my element, and just one thing after another, disaster happened, right? But I had such a great time because I chose to have a great time, right? I said, okay, you know, this is what's happening, and this is what I can do about it. I can either decide to, you know, focus on what's happening to me, or I can keep moving forward and have a better time out of it. And that's what I did. I just kept moving forward, because that's what every great entrepreneur does. They move forward, right? So my biggest breakthrough at the Las Vegas Rise event was Saturday morning, a guy by the name of Chris Rushlow got on stage. Some of you may know Chris Rushlow. Some of you may have heard his name. He got on stage, and you know, I was still wiping the sleep out of my eyes. And when he spoke, I cried. I cried because I felt like he was speaking directly to me. Chris said, here's what I took away from what he said. He said, tell your story. Tell your story. Don't worry about who's going to ridicule you. Don't worry about who's going to make fun of you. Don't worry about how bad your story is, because everybody has a story, right? And I believe that we go through these bad things in our lives so that we can help others who are going through bad things in their lives, right? So when he said to tell my story, I said, okay. And I said, I've been telling my story to my, you know, I said this to myself, I've been telling my story. Then he's, you know, he just kept going with, tell your whole story. Don't leave anything out. And that's what I've been doing. You see, if you've been following me for any time at all, you've heard basically the bullet point of my story. You've heard the bullet points. You know, there's been a lot left out in between, right? So for a long time now, this has been weighing on my mind, been weighing on my heart to actually tell my story, because somebody out there needs to hear it. Somebody out there somewhere watching right now needs to hear Jeff Sherwood's story. And for some of you, like, especially if you don't know who I am or what I do or anything else, it's not going to matter that much. Or maybe it will. It all depends on how you listen to my story. right? Because I have a feeling that I'm like a lot of you out there. I have a feeling that a lot of you are going to connect with the story that I'm going to tell you. And I have a feeling that I'm not going to have to search all month long for the 5 people that I want to bring into business with me. I have a feeling that those 5 people are going to sign up tonight. And if you don't, I'll be back next week. So either way, my biggest breakthrough was tell my story. Because here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. I can sit here and give you every tool and every training that you need to be successful online. I can do that. I can do that. The thing is, when you get into business, right? Here's the thing. When you get into this business, you can do the same thing. You can give people every tool and every training they need. It's all there. It's all there. As soon as you sign up, it's all there, right? People don't want to buy tools and training. They don't. 90% of people don't even go through the training. They think they know it already, right? They think they know it already. The thing is, people want to connect with you. You are who people want to connect with, right? So you have to be able to tell your story. Why should somebody believe in you? Why should somebody want to join your business? What can you offer them? Because you know what the company can offer them. They know what the company can offer them, right? Because they click on the Learn Now button and the company tells them what you can expect when you sign up, right? The company tells you that. What can somebody expect from you personally? What can you offer? What value can you give, right? So if you don't catch it, I don't know. You know, you've got to catch it. You've got to listen. So I'm going to ask you a favor. I want you to be engaged. Be engaged, right? I want you to put away all your distractions. Put away every distraction. Turn that TV off. Click out of your Facebook. Click off your email. I want you to be totally engaged with what I'm fixing to tell you, right? And I want you to listen to my story because I have a feeling that you're going to hear something in my story that you're going to connect with. And you can't connect with that story if you're on Facebook. You can't connect with that story if you're watching YouTube videos. You can't connect with that story if you're reading emails. You can't connect with that story if you're watching old reruns of Matlock. And yeah, so I'm going to give you a disclaimer and tell you that if I talk about income on this Hangout, then those are my results. My results are not typical because I'm not a typical person. I don't do typical things. And the truth is that 98% of people who try to make money online do not make money online. They fail. And that's all because they're typical people, right? I want to encourage you not to be a typical person, right? Because typical people are not going to make it. You have to be willing to step outside the box, step outside yourself, tell yourself, hey, I don't know everything. I've got something I can learn from this person or that person, right? People who are not even on my team are on this Hangout tonight. And that's because they love and respect me, right? And I love and respect them back. So anything they ever do, I'm there. Anytime they need my help, I help them, right? This is a community of serious, like-minded people who all have the same goal. We all want to be free from a system. The government placed us in the day we were born. We all want to make money so we can have freedom, right? Money buys dreams. Think about that for a second. Money buys dreams. It's not just the money I make that buys my dreams. It's the money I can help you make that helps me fulfill my dreams, right? Because my dream and my vision is to take 5 people every single month and help them make $100 a day. That's $3,000 a month. So if I can do that, that'll help fulfill my dream and vision, right? Because that's my vision. And I'm going to do it. And as I grow, my vision becomes bigger. Then I'm looking for 5 people who want to make $1,000, who want to make $1,000 a day, who want to make $10,000. It just gets bigger, right? So, anybody logged into the comments? All right, Jennifer's here, Carl's here. What's up, guys? What is up? What is up? All right, so we got some people here tonight. All right, so without further ado, without further delays, I felt like I needed to tell you that right up front. And I'm going to tell you my story. This is going to be the first time I've ever told my story on the internet. This is my first solo hangout ever. But I'm going to try not to lose you. When you're watching this, I want you to try to follow me as best you can. I get a little spacey sometimes. Not the best storyteller in the world, but I want that to give you hope that if I can do this, you can most certainly do this, right? And at any time, if you're ready to get started, click on that Get Access Now button. No matter who sent you here, you'll join their team, right? If they sent you here, you'll join their team. If you're here because I sent you an email or because you see me on Facebook or anywhere else, you'll join my team. If Carl or Jennifer or Dave or anybody else sent you here, you'll join their team. So yeah, just feel free at any time. We're not in this for the money. We're in this to help as many people as we can. And that's the truth. That's the truth no matter what you hear anywhere else. Any other business only wants your money. They don't care about you once you sign up. Trust me, I was in a few companies like that. I spent thousands of dollars in those companies. They didn't care about me once I signed up. All they wanted was my thousands of dollars. So without further ado, let me take this sip of water, hit my vape a couple times, and let me tell you my story. And once again, if you're watching on YouTube or Google Hangouts, Google Plus, feel free to join us over on moneybuysdreams.com/hangout/Jeff Sherwood, all is one word. All right, so how did I get involved in online marketing? All right, so it's let me go back before that because this is some real stuff that happened in my life that actually led me to the point I'm at now, right? So let me start from the beginning. You know, when I was a teenager, when I was 12, 13 years old, I was really, really rowdy, right? Stole a lot of stuff from convenience stores, started smoking cigarettes, started smoking pot, started drinking all around the time of 12 and 13 years old, right? So went to juvenile a few times by the time I was 12 and 13, was just a really unruly kid. Well, that led into a lot more trouble. And when I was 17 years old, I was kicked out of school for 6 months. I used to cuss principals out, used to cuss teachers out, never went to class, always skipped school, sold drugs in school. Only went to school basically just to sell drugs, make my money, and get out. I didn't even go for the rest of the day. I just left. Nobody made me go to school. No, I didn't have that kind of stability. I didn't have anybody to tell me, hey, you got to go to school or else, And what's crazy is I grew up as one of the most intelligent kids in my grade level. I was actually one of the first 100 people in the whole state of Tennessee to start what's called a magnet program. And I'm not sure if they have that everywhere now, but I know it has spread throughout the country. But it all was based on test scores, and I was one of the top 25 test scores in the whole state of Tennessee. But by the time I got to high school, when I was 17, when I was 16, I got kicked out of school. I came back, and when I turned 17, the principal called me to the office one day. My guidance counselor was there. They wanted to have a meeting with me and my mom. And so they set up a meeting. We went into the meeting, and they said, Mr. Sherwood, Miss Owens, which is my mom's name, they said, Jeff only has 2 credits, and they're both in, one's in art, and the other one's in art too. Jeff loves to draw. I've always had a very creative mindset, right? So that's the only 2 credits I had. I was 16 at the time, and I was getting ready to turn 17 in a couple months. And so they said, we feel like at this point, Jeff's going to be 25 years old by the time he graduates college or high school. I'm sorry. By the time Jeff graduates high school, he'll be 25, and we just can't have him around the other kids because he's already, he's already been in several fights and this and that and the other. I grew up in the projects, grew up in a very poor area of town. Was influenced by my community. I was influenced by my environment that I grew up in, and so I felt like the only way to survive was to fight, was to sell drugs, was to do this and that and the other just to survive, right? And so by the time I was 17, they said he's got to get his GED. He's got to get his GED. Otherwise, we really don't have any more options for him. We have no more options. So I was 17. They made me go to night classes to study for my GED. And while I was there, I walked in and I'm seeing one of my friends there. And so apparently he had been in a lot of trouble too. And they made him take night classes to get his GED, right? And so so we connected, and he said, "Hey man, this is what I've been doing. I've been going out and with this other guy, and we've been stealing cars and breaking in cars and all this stuff, man. It's a lot of fun, man. There's a lot of money involved." And I said, "Yeah, I'm in. I want in. I want in. Get me in that." Up to that point, the biggest thing I had done was, had broken a convenience store and robbed them for every pack of cigarettes they had and money and all that good stuff. And, didn't really know that was wrong because that's what everybody else in my environment was doing at the time. Now I feel very remorseful for it, and I'm not proud of any actions I've taken. But to that point, I was like, yeah, I've got to get in this because this is what I want to do, right? So he said, okay, let me talk to the guy. Let me see what's up. Let me see if I can get you in that. And of course, yeah, I was in. And 2 days later, I was going out and I was watching for another guy while we tried to steal a motorcycle from somebody, right? I was the lookout. But before that, I was a star athlete. I wasn't a star athlete as far as on the high school team, this and that and the other, because you had to make the grades, right? And obviously, I just told you I had 2 credits, so I obviously didn't make the grades. I never went to school. But I played recreation. I played rec league, right? And I was a standout in rec league. When I was growing up, I had visions of going to the NBA. That's all I wanted to do. Everybody said, "Hey, what are you going to be when you grow up, Jeff?" And I said, I'm going to be in the NBA. What are you talking about? And they're like, "Yeah, we know you're good at basketball, but what's your fallback plan?" I ain't got no fallback plan. I want to be in the NBA. I'm going to be in the NBA. Well, that didn't happen. When I was 15, I broke my ankle 6 times in 1 year. Broke my ankle. Basically wore a cast for a year and a half. That didn't happen. And I think that was kind of sort of part of my downfall. But like I told you, this had been a trend since I was 12 years old. Been in and out of juvenile since I was 12 years old. Doing drugs, drinking, this and that and the other. So now it's on to breaking in cars, stealing motorcycles, stealing cars, and this and that and the other, right? So time goes on, and I'm out there, and that first thrill of watching it, and this guy's going to take this motorcycle and roll it up the road, right? All I have to do is watch and make sure nobody comes out the door, and if they do, I got to bust them upside the head. So I watch, and I'm watching. I see somebody peek out the window. I said, "Run!" I said, "Run!" And so we took off, and I at that point I could run a 4.440, which means I could run a 40-yard dash in 4.4 seconds. And so I ran down the street, and the other 2 people we had with us, all I seen was the car turn sideways in the middle of the street, and I'm diving headfirst into the back seat of this car. And all they talk about the whole night is not how I failed to make sure that motorcycle got stolen, but how fast I could run. So they said, "Hey, I know this dude is going to get away, right? We trust this dude." So I guess that was kind of a test for me, right? So it goes on, and we start breaking in cars. I learned how to break out windows, very silently break out a car window and get in. And I learned how to take a CD player out of the car, whether it's professionally installed or not. In about 30 seconds, I could have that CD player gone and pull off, right? So I start breaking in about 20, 30 cars a night. I'm doing this for years and years, and I'm developing a huge following, right? People want to be around me. People want, people are in line. People are on a waiting list to get a CD player or a speaker system or anything else that I can get out of a car, right? So man, I mean, like I'm making thousands and thousands of dollars at this point. I'm still young, like 17, 18 years old at this point. And so 18, let's see. Yeah, 18, I decided, hey, you know what? I better get a job to kind of hide some of this money I'm making, because I'm making thousands of dollars at this point. And I start having visions. I'm going to be a professional criminal. I'm going to be a professional robber. I'm going to just break in stuff for a living. This is how I'm going to live. This is how I'm going to have it made. I'm like one of those people in the movies who just goes around breaking in stuff. You know, I'm going to be one of those guys. Well, that didn't happen. So I get a job at a call center, right? And had these bitter old ladies that would call in and just basically cuss me out just to order a shirt or a sweater or something like that, you know. I didn't like it. So we had this system in place where we could write down manual orders, right? We could manually write down orders. So what I would do is I would go in, and every woman who was a bitch to me, I would write down her name, her address, her credit card number, the expiration date, and everything else I needed. I would go online and order whatever I wanted with that credit card information. I would have that stuff sent to an abandoned house down the street from my house, right? Well, that lasted for about 2 months. And inside that 2-month period of time, I managed to steal about $250,000 from these women. Another thing I'm not proud of. I'm not proud of any of this stuff I'm telling you. I have to tell you this because it's part of my story. So I get arrested. Because some of this stuff would come to shipping centers, and I would miss the delivery, so I would have to sign for the stuff. Well, obviously, I would always order under a fake name. So, you know, it'd be like Michael Smith, or it would be, you know, some James Bond. It didn't matter. I was ordering under fake names, but my stupid self was so naive that I thought I could just show up at these collections or these shipping centers, you know, like UPS or FedEx shipping centers, and just sign for the packages, and it'd be all cool, right? Well, little did I know the FBI was waiting for me at one of these collection centers, and they followed me. When I picked up the packages, they pulled me over on the interstate. It was a day before my 19th birthday, and I was going to jail for the very first time. You know, I had been in juvenile before, but I'd never been in jail. Been getting away with stuff for over 2 years now. Had been a professional criminal for over 2 years. Professional robber. But so I go to jail. So the day before my 19th birthday, I bond out in like 5 hours. Go on to celebrate my 19th birthday. The next day, my first son was born. I had my first son the day after my 19th birthday. And you would think that would straighten me up, but it didn't. All I did was turn and say, hey, where are the rest of those credit card numbers I've got written down? Because at this point, this was a lifestyle to me. This was an addiction to me. This was more powerful than any drug that you can imagine. And I had to keep going. I had to keep making money. I had to keep, you know, getting stuff. And I was getting stupid stuff. Like when they pulled me over, I had 20 pounds of gummy bears from a candy shop online. 20 pounds of gummy bears, like 10 pounds of Sour Patch Kids. You know, I could have opened a candy store. You know, I was ordering stupid stuff. I wasn't addicted to the stuff I was buying. I wasn't addicted to the stuff I was stealing. I was addicted to the lifestyle. I was ordering stupid stuff just because I was getting away with it, right? So, you know, one of my favorite things to do was steal like blow-up dolls or order blow-up dolls and stuff and tie them to my friends' cars and just blow them up, and I would tie them with rope to my friends' cars and stuff. Just a bunch of ridiculous stuff because I was a ridiculous kid. I didn't know any better, right? I should have known better, but to me, like I said, it was a lifestyle. So I kept going. I kept breaking in cars. But see, the thing is, whenever I started making a lot of money, I started developing a worse drug habit. I did all these drugs that were not good for my system. You know, it was 20 or 30 Xanaxes at a time, handful, right down the hatch, you know. You know, I had friends all the time that say, Jeff, I'm surprised you're not dead right now. How, you know, I thought you died a few years ago. I still run into people that tell me that. Because my drug abuse was so bad that I don't know how I'm still alive myself. I don't know how I remember things that I remember. Right? So the thing is, I kept going. I kept breaking into cars, and Eventually started breaking in houses, right? When I was 19 years old, I broke into a house and I stole guns, money, and everything else I could steal. I broke into a lot of houses when I was 19 years old. I broke into probably 100 houses, 100 houses, right? I would wait till people went to work and just go kick their door open. You know, and so I was 19 and, you know, I broke in that house. All of a sudden I see a cop behind me. I'm not stopping. So I hit the gas. And when I hit the gas, he hit the gas. And when he hit the gas, he called for backup. Well, before I knew it, there was like 30 cops behind me, and I felt like O.J. Simpson. But I wasn't slow motion. I wasn't slow motion driving. I was going about 140 down this main drag, right? Well, finally they start shooting to take out my tires, and I said, okay, pulling over now. I pull over. I give up. They fill up a whole gas station parking lot with cars. Cops from 3 surrounding counties all have guns on me at this point. So I've got like 30 guns on me. I'm just praying that nobody is nervous and pulls the trigger on accident, because I done pissed off a whole lot of law enforcement. I get out of the car and you know, I walk slowly back towards them, whatever. And the first thing that happens is they take my hand, they smack me upside my head with it, and then you know, damn near knock me out. I seen stars. I have been beaten by so many cops. One time my face was almost unrecognizable because they had beat me so bad with no provocation on my point, right? Never provoked them to do it. They did it because they're cops and they can use their power to do whatever they want to do, right? And the point is, my lifestyle eventually led me to prison. I was what eventually led me to prison was I was messed up on a lot of drugs. I had took probably like 60 Xanaxes, about 10 hydrocodones, a couple of morphines, a couple of Roxys, and drank a lot of alcohol during the course of one night, during the course of a 24-hour period, right? By the time they found me, I was in a shopping mall parking lot with a hammer in my hand, trying to bust out a window that I have no idea what I was even going to do after I bust out that window, right? I still vaguely remember the feeling that I had at that point. And what's crazy is I still had pills in my pocket. So I'm in the back of the cop car. The cop never searched me because they were so pissed off. All they would focus on was beat my ass, right? So I get around to the pills. I reach around in my pocket. I pull out those pills and somehow get my hands up and I dump those pills in my mouth. At that point, I'm trying to kill myself because I'm already so far beyond fucked up. It ain't funny. I somehow reached and grabbed about 10 more hydrocodones. You know, that I woke up 3 days later in a jail cell. And I only know it was 3 days later because I remember an officer banging on my cell and asking me, hey, do you need to make a bond phone call? Do you need to bond out? Well, at that point, I was already on probation. So I'm thinking, how do I not have a probation violation that holds me here? So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, sure. Fine. So I go out and I use the phone. I call a bondsman. I say, hey, I need to bond out. Can you come help me? And so they said, yeah, how long have you been here? Well, I wasn't sure myself how long I'd been there. The effect of the drugs was just really taking over my life at that point. And so I asked the officer and he said, yeah, you've been here for like 3 days. And I said, 3 days? I said, I don't even remember eating or using the bathroom or anything in 3 days. And I didn't have any bed or anything. They just threw me in a concrete room, you know, and I slept for 3 days straight. And then shortly after that, a few months later, I went to prison for 4 years. 4 years of my life was taken from me. Well, at that point, I decided, you know what? I cannot live this life anymore, because in between the time I went to prison and the time I started messing up, I had probably went to jail about 20 times and bonded out every single time. Probably went to jail about 20 times. So I said, you know what? I'm tired of messing up. I'm tired of this. I can't live this lifestyle anymore. I'm not going to be a career criminal. I'm not going to be a professional thief. I'm not going to do this anymore. What am I going to do with my life? Well, up to that point, the only types of jobs I had really had was fast food jobs, restaurant jobs, you know, just little bullshit jobs that paid minimum wage that got you nowhere. Even if you were fortunate enough to work your way up to management, all you were getting was $8 or $9 an hour, depending on what restaurant you worked at, right? I said, I can't go back to doing that either. I literally can't. But if I have to, I will, because it's better than this lifestyle. It's better than this prison cell I'm sitting in right now, right? And so I said, what am I going to do? And I went to the library one day. The prison had a library. You could check out books. And I checked out this book, and I took an aptitude test. And I said, I got to find out what area I'm strongest in. Well, as you can imagine, since I'm sitting here today, my strongest area was business. So I said, when I get out of this hellhole, I'm going to focus on business. I'm going to open my own business. I'm going to do something with my life that's going to make everybody around me proud, because I'm tired of disappointing everybody in my life. And I'm tired of everybody saying, Jeff's a loser and Jeff's never going to be anything. I'm tired of it. I'm going to be something. I'm going to make something of myself. I'm going to climb that ladder, and I'm going to do what I have to do, because this is not it. This is not my life. I'm a better person than I am. Where I am now is not where I'm going to be. This is not where I'm going to end up. So 4 years I spent miserably in a prison cell, you know, guarding my life, fighting for my life. Had a couple people legitimately try to kill me in prison. Literally, I've seen my life flash before my eyes several times. So get out of prison, free man. I'm a free man. And I said, okay, this is it. This is it. I'm free. This is my new start. I have a brand new life. It's time to go get a skill set, right? First job I get, I have to get a job because I have no money. You know, no money at all. Nothing to show for any of the time that I spent as a criminal. You know, got locked up. All my friends disappeared. Nobody wrote. Nobody accepted phone calls. Nobody put money on my commissary. No, nothing, right? I'm all by myself. All I have is my family. My family's got my back. So I get a job at a fitness club, and I'm working third shift as an equipment cleaner. And they come in, one day, about 2 months after I've been working there, and they said, you know, before that, about 2 weeks before that, they said, Jeff, we're so happy that you decided to work here. You're one of the best workers we ever had. I said, good, I like it here. 2 weeks later, they pulled me in office and they fired me. They said, you lied on your application. We found out that you lied. You're a convicted felon, and we don't hire your type around here. I said, but you said I'm the best worker that you've had, you know, in a long time. What happened to that? Oh, well, you are. You still are, but we don't work with your type around here. We don't need that kind of trouble. I said, but I changed. I'm not that guy anymore. So what? You were that guy. And that hit me hard. And I said, man, what the hell's going on? So I said, okay, I'm not going to lie on any other job application that I have a chance to get a job, right? I'm not going to lie anymore. So I go out, put in more job applications. I tell them, I'm a convicted felon. Have you been convicted of a felony in the last 7 years? Yes, sir, I have. All right, next. Can't hire this guy. He's been convicted of a felony. There's no chance that this guy would ever, be anything, right? He's just a convicted felon. We give up on him. Okay. So I said, okay, I've got to do something different. So I got a fast food job at Taco Bell. And in a month, I had worked my way up to management. I lied on my application. I went back to lying on my application because that's the only way I was going to survive. You know, at that point, I had one kid. I had one kid that I had before I went to prison, right? I wasn't with the same woman anymore. I wasn't getting to see him very much. And while I was in prison, she had told him a whole lot of lies about me, and he had believed those lies because he didn't have any other choice but to believe those lies, right? He believed that he had the worst dad ever, and I needed to make up for that. Because any of you that have kids out there that you don't get to see very often and don't want to be in your life because they believe something that one parent has told them, it just breaks your heart, right? So I said, I've got to do this for him, not for me, but for him. So I was working at Taco Bell, and I said, I've got to be more than I am now. I'm working. I'm a manager. I'm in charge of the whole store. $8 an hour. $8 an hour I'm making to be a manager of a whole store. I said, I can't make $8 an hour no more. I can't do it. I can't live on this. So I decided to go to college. and signed up for college. And of course, I wanted to go for business, so that's what I majored in. Well, while I was there, about a year into my program, they added an option, and I could also get an accounting degree for like an extra quarter or so. We went by the quarter system, right? So I could get a business degree, and at the same time, I could get an accounting degree, right? 2 bachelor degrees for just a little bit of extra time. And I said, why not? I'm already here, might as well stay a little bit extra, right? Well, work my ass off, work my ass completely off. And so I'm going to college. This is 2008 when I enrolled in college. Well, I said, okay, well, this Taco Bell is not going to work anymore around my school schedule. It's not going to work. And I go out and I try to find other jobs, and those didn't work either. Nothing really seemed to match up with my school schedule, right? And so I said, okay, I've got to find another way to make it. I've got to find another way. So I started looking online. I said, how can I make money online? You know, how can I make money online? And ran across an ad that said, hey, get paid to copy and paste ads for Google, right? And I said, Google's a pretty good company, right? So I want to work for Google. And I legitimately thought I was going to be working for Google, right? I was all excited to tell my friends and family, hey, I'm working for Google. I'm working for Google. It's cool. I'm actually just advertising for Google. I'm putting ads on my website for them. And yeah, and they're all like, yeah, that's a bunch of shit. And it's a scam. And you should definitely just get out of it now, right? And so as part of that, you know, I bought one of their, it was like a $47 product or something like that. And I went through it, and they said, you have to have a website. I said, oh, you got to have a website? I don't know anything about building a web. I thought that was something that just like really top of the line professional people did, you know, because at that time the internet was not really as huge as it is now. Like now, it's looking at it now from 2008, it's a whole different ball game, right? And so I said, okay, I'm not gonna let that stop me. I'll go out and find out how to build a website. And I literally spent about 12 to 18 hours a day online and went to school for 6. So I hardly ever slept. I mean, I went to school and my eyes were just down to here. And always just everybody just was like, man, Jeff looks tired, you know. And I never fell asleep in school because I wanted to actually learn what I came there to learn. I'm spending money to learn, right? So I spent time and I learned how to build a website. It was the ugliest thing you have ever seen in your life, right? Ugliest thing ever. But I built that website, and I was proud of that website. And I sent people to that website, and I had to start learning how to generate traffic. And I had to learn how to generate that traffic for free because I didn't have an advertising budget. I didn't have money to go out and pay for people to come to my website. So I kept picking up different mentors along the way, right? And these weren't people who were working with me one-on-one. These were just people who knew what I wanted to know. And I followed those people. And I got all the free information from those people that I could. And I ran into one mentor who actually did work with me one-on-one. And he taught me about this thing called WordPress. And at that time, WordPress was brand new. It had just came out. He said, why are you building HTML websites? Because that's what I was doing. I was doing coding. I learned all the coding myself. I didn't go to school to learn coding. I went to school for business and accounting. I'm a numbers guy, right? So why are you doing this? Why are you doing this the hard way? Why are you making this so hard on yourself? I don't know. This is all I know. I mean, teach me something new. He taught me how to build WordPress sites, right? So I started putting those up, you know. And, you know, I made my first paycheck with Google, and I think I've got a picture of that somewhere. It was $100, $103 or something like that from people going over and clicking on my ads on my website. It took me a year and a half to get that paycheck. A year and a half before I started generating money, right? So as you can imagine, I ate a lot of ramen noodles and bullcrap in college. You know, I didn't eat the best, but so 2009, I was still learning. You know, it took me until the middle of 2009 or so to get my first paycheck. After that, though, here's the thing. I was developing skills, right? I was developing skills so I could use those skills to make even more money, right? So I started freelance writing for people because I was part of a community. And the community needed somebody to write for them, right? So I was writing articles for people, and I was getting paid 1 penny for every word I wrote, right? So I was getting 300 or 400 word articles at a time, and people would order them 10, 20 at a time. And that's all I did was sit at my computer and write articles, right? All day, every day. And I'd probably make between $100 and $300 a day writing, right? I was writing all the time. I already had to write college essays, right? But the thing is, writing for the internet was a lot different than writing college essays. So that's where I learned how to write so good, right? I kept writing, and these people said, "Hey, your writing is shit. It sucks. I'm never hiring you again." I said, "Okay, that's fine. Somebody else will." But it gave me a chance to develop my writing style to where it is now. And if you've ever read any of my blog posts or any of my blogs, and I get comments all the time, and I don't know how to take those comments because I know where I started out, right? I started out at, the lowest place you could start out writing. I couldn't put 2 words together, much less a whole sentence, right? It just sounded crappy. If you read some of my articles from back then, you would swear they were just spun content. But I kept working at it because I knew that there was a way to make money online, right? And there is. And I'm going to get to that. And if you bear with me, I know you've been here for 50 minutes already, but I'm going to get to it. And feel free to leave your comments. And I promise after I finish my story, I'm going to answer all your questions, right? The thing is, I kept going. I kept at it. I never gave up. I was persistent, right? Persistence is the key to this whole online marketing thing. Write that down. If you're taking notes, write that down. Tell yourself you're going to be persistent until you make it. Be persistent until it pays off. And then you know what you do after it pays off? You keep being persistent, right? Because that's what got me to the position I'm at now. That's what got me here, was being persistent. Having the attitude of never giving up, never saying no, never saying I'm better than who I am, right? I am better than who I am. I will never quit, right? So in between that time, so 2010 rolls around, I'm starting to explore more programs like Amazon's affiliate program, ClickBank's affiliate program, right? At this point, I've got income coming in. I'm making about $3,000 to $4,000 per month at this time because I refused to give up back in 2008, right? Absolutely refused it. So at that point, I've got 3,000 or 4,000 rolling in, and I'm loving it. I'm having a heyday, right? I'm having so much fun. So I've got it built up, and I can damn near just run it on autopilot while I focus on school. They gave me more time to focus on school because everything I'm doing is just running by itself at that point, right? And everything I do today just kind of runs by itself because of the things I learned back in 2008, 2009. So 2011 rolls around, right? And I'm almost finished with the school at that point, right? I'm going to school 20 hours a quarter, so I'm taking 80 hours of school per year. Now I need 225 credits to graduate. So I'm really busting my ass to get 2 bachelor degrees, right? I want to finish this thing in 3 years if I can. That's fine with me. So been really busting it, right? 2011 rolls around, and December 13, 2011 is a day I will never forget because that's the day I got a phone call. I was at the gym working out early in the morning with my 2 cousins, Johnny and Rob, who I love dearly. Nothing but respect for those 2 guys, right? And I get a phone call, and I check my phone, and I've got probably 30, 40 missed calls. I said, man, ain't I popular? Well, noticed one number that was on there a lot was my mom's. I called my mom back. She said she was just crying hysterically. She said somebody killed your sister. Somebody killed your sister. And at that point, my sister was 8.5 months pregnant. She would have delivered her first son around Christmas or shortly after Christmas. Right? And my sister was my best friend. My sister was everything you could ever hope for. And a sibling, a best friend, anything, right? At that moment, it didn't matter anymore about college. It didn't matter anymore about this internet shit. Nothing else mattered. Life became really real for me. My sister was 25 years old. And what happened was the guy that got her pregnant, and this is, I can't say because the trial starts next week on Monday. This coming up Monday, the trial will start. But what I can say is somebody came into my sister's apartment, strangled my sister, choked her, beat her up, and then stabbed her in the throat with a pair of scissors so hard that it hit her back vertebrae and killed her. And it killed my nephew in the process. So I lost my nephew and my sister all in one day. My whole life was taken from me. And at that point, life became really real for me. And I realized how short that life is and how I didn't want to put myself in that box. Hey, sweetheart, can you give me a water, please? How I didn't want to put myself in that box. And that box is that cubicle that I'm talking about that I was going to after graduation. That cubicle. That's that box that I refer to. Right? So I took about a year off school. Took about a year off. And I didn't care anymore. I didn't care anymore about anything really. And at that point, I had another son back in 2010. I had another son right before that happened. Right, so my son was about a year and a half old. My sister got killed. He can still remember my sister, just a little bit though. I didn't care. Everything just kind of was put on hold for me. Started drinking very heavily. Started smoking a lot of pot again. I could feel myself going back on that spiral. I did that for months, a lot of months I spent doing that. Playing video games. All I cared about was waking up, playing video games, and doing drugs. Didn't care about anything else. So I wallowed myself in self-pity, right? I gave up on life. I gave up. I just said, you know what? I'm going to sit here and do this until God comes back and gets me. And then one day, people that cared about me in my life, they said, Jeff, you got to stop this. You got to stop. You got to pull yourself up, get back in the game, and you got to stop. I didn't want to hear that life goes on. Didn't want to hear it because for me, life did not go on. I didn't want life to go on. I wanted life to stop. I wanted the world to stop spinning and let me off. Stop this ride and let me off. I'm tired of riding it. The world refused to do it, and the people in my life refused to give up on me. And I'm thankful for that today, right? Because after that, I pulled myself up. I got back in the game. I didn't want to. I still don't want to at points. I still have my moments. I still have my moments where it's just like, fuck everything. But I still go on. All right. I got back into affiliate marketing. I built my ClickBank income up. I'm making thousands of dollars at this point, $200 and $300 a day. And then Google unleashes a whole zoo of animals on me, right? Google just unleashes panda, penguin, and this, that, the other, scarecrow. I don't even know what else, I can't keep up with all that. It's just a whole zoo of animals to me. That's what I refer to it as. Knocked all my stuff off, knocked everything off, right? So I'm there at ground zero, making nothing whatsoever, making nothing, right? And what I was doing was not very bad. It was just bad in the eyes of Google because really it wasn't me what I was doing. It was the other people who were using the sites that I was using who had given sites like mine a bad name, right? So they had knocked it all off. And I'm a big SEO guy. Like I said, I had to focus on free traffic. So that's what I focused on. For years, that's all I did was free traffic. And that's all I did up until this year. I've never paid for traffic whatsoever. I've always did free traffic, right? So what I did, well, I said, man, everything messed up is just happening to me, right? Well, I went back and got a job as a cook at a sports bar. So I'm sitting there flipping burgers for $10 an hour. Well, at that point, I had lost touch years ago with my cousin Johnny, right? I went to prison, and ever since prison, I lost contact with him, right? And he just kind of whatever, But I reconnected with him, and he said, "Hey, man, I'm doing this thing. You should check it out." He didn't force me to. He just sent me a link. He said, "Hey, just check out what I'm doing." I said, "If it's one of those make money online things, just count me out of it, dude. I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to make money online anymore. I'm done." But then curiosity kind of got the best of me, right? And he sent me over to watch this video. And when he did, I said, "Holy shit, I can do this." And he said, "Man, I can't believe you're working at a bar, wasting all your time and talents at a bar." I said, "You know what? You're right." I quit that job 2 weeks later. I signed up for this business, and I quit that job 2 weeks later. I dove headfirst in this business, and at first I was just about making money for me, right? I just wanted to make money for me. I wanted to make money to support my family. Then as I started going through all the training videos that nobody ever takes the time to go through for some reason, because if they did, they wouldn't have to ask a lot of questions, right? If they went and looked at the information, they wouldn't be asking me, "Hey, Jeff, how do I do this?" Because it's all there, right? It's all in those videos, and they're wasting my time by asking me that. And I'm telling you right now, if you're one of those types of people who says, "Hey, my this and that's not working," and I tell you to go read the instructions and you don't do it, and you don't watch the videos that I tell you to go read, I don't need you on my team. I want serious people who are willing to take action, not people who are willing to sit around and write emails and be crybaby bitches about it. Right? I'm not being mean. I'm telling you the truth, because what I'm offering you is freedom. I'm not offering to hold your hand. If you need me to hold your hand, it's going to cost you money. Because I'm in this business for freedom. I'm not in this business to hold your hand. It's all in the training videos. It's all there, right? The thing is, I got into this business with the goal of making money. And then I realized it's not about making money. It's about the freedom I have in my life. It's about the freedom that I can give other people. So if you're still watching me after an hour, right, I want to give you that same freedom. And you can do it very easily. All you have to do is click on that Get Access Now button, sign up, take a $9 trial, and you'll see the same power I see. You start going through those training videos, it's all there. It's all there. You watch the level up sequence. It's called a level up sequence, right? Free training once you're in there, right? How do you think I know the stuff I know now? It's because I went through the training. I took the time out of my day, and I didn't say, "Hey, I need to go get started with this right away." I just need to watch the training. I need to be trained. I didn't jump in the car when I wanted to learn how to drive and say, "Hey, I can do this. I'll just do it by myself," because you know what would have happened? I would have veered off the road and hit a telephone pole head on. No, I said, "Hey, I need a learner's permit. I need somebody to teach me how to drive. I need my mom or whatever to teach me how to drive," right? And I went and took lessons on how to drive before they were confident to give me a driver's license, which was probably a big mistake on their part, because they didn't know I'd be going 120 miles an hour down the road a year later and hit a wall. Whatever. The thing is, if you sign up, if you're one of the 5 people, and actually, I've already got emails in my box right now, so let's see here. Yeah, so I've actually I have 4 spots left right now. I have 4 spots because there's action takers sitting here watching. If you're one of those 5 people right now that sign up, I want you to take action. I don't want you to email me every 5 seconds. I'm going to give you a free coaching call, right? Because I got in this business to help people. But I'm not going to help you if you email me every single day after I've told you to go read the instructions and watch the videos and it's all there, right? I'm not going to help you then. I promise you I won't. You can call Jeff an asshole, a son of a bitch, anything you want to call me. But I'm somebody who is persistent. I'm somebody who will never give up. I'm somebody that's not going to bug somebody. You can ask any of my upline sponsors how many times I've ever asked them for help, and they'll tell you that's not the type of person I am, and that's not the type of person I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who ask me a question, and then they go out and take action, And then they come back and say, hey, Jeff, what do you think? And I say, awesome. That's awesome. You're definitely on the right path. They ask me another question. I tell them the answer. They go out and do it. And they come back and say, hey, Jeff, did I do good? Hell yeah, you did good. Hey, Jeff, how do you do this? Hey, let's log into Skype. I'll just show you how to do it. Hey, Jeff, how do you do that? Let's log into a Google Hangout. Let me show you how to do it. I'll show you my screen so you can follow right along with me, right? I'll make you a special YouTube video, right? I'm not looking for somebody that's going to say, hey, go out, here's my link. Why don't you go out and share it for me? Why the hell would I do that? Why would I do that? It's your business, not my business. I'll go out and share my link because this is my business, right? I'm not going to go out and share your link. Why the hell would I do that? That's not going to help you a bit. Not one bit, right? So what I want to do at this point, because, you know, I might have left out a little bit of my story at the end when I was talking about how I got involved in this business, was my cousin Johnny. All the credit in the world that dude, man. He is the hardest worker I know. And if he sent you here to this hangout tonight, man, I would definitely advise you to take action tonight. If Carl or Jennifer, you know, Chris Powers, Steven, Dave, any of those guys sent you here, take action, you know, because you get to be a part of our community. We will add you to our community. It's a private mastermind group where you get to hang out with us all the time. Every single day we're in there. We help each other. You ask a question, you get stuck, we will help you. If you're going to sit around and complain, we will not help you. That's the disclaimer, right? If you're going to sit around and complain, we are not going to help you. We only help people who are willing to help themselves, right? If you're not willing to help yourselves, that's tough luck on your part, because you know, you're never going to make it. Go get a job. Go get a job. That's the best thing I can tell you, because they'll help you all you want to. They'll let you complain and all that stuff at your job. Here, we're looking for winners. We're looking for action takers. We're looking for people who are serious, who have the same goal and vision of helping other people, right? Because without that goal and vision, you're lost. If you're doing this for yourself, you're lost. If you're looking for an opportunity to join something for free, you're lost. Because how many people would love to go out and start their own McDonald's or Starbucks or other franchise, right? You would love that shit. You know why? Because they make a ton of money. You would love to do that. How much money is it going to cost you, right? $500,000? Does that sound like a start? Sounds like a good start. Sounds like a start. We're offering you an opportunity today to get started for $9. And can I compare this to a Starbucks or a McDonald's? Yeah, I absolutely can. You know why? Because this company is 3.5 years old, and it's already made over $150 million. There are people right now in this company making $1,000 per day. There are people in this company that are doing it little time. They're doing it small time, making $10,000 per month. Let that sink in for a second. And what I'm going to do is open it up for questions. So if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to put those in the comment section right now. If you're somebody that wants to go learn more about what we do, go click on the Learn More button below. If you're somebody who is an action taker and wants one of those 4 spots that I have left, go click on the Get Access Now button. 4 spots is all I have left. I'm being honest about that. When those 4 spots are taken, I'm shutting it down. I'm shutting it down. You will no longer be able to even sign up on my team. You'll have to sign up for somebody else. I'm working with 5 people personally this month, and that's it. So, so yeah, if you're an action taker, go take action right now. Click on the Get Access Now button below this video. And if you're watching on YouTube, once again, you can come over to moneybuysdreams.com/hangouts/Jeff Sherwood, and you'll be able to sign up on my team right now tonight. I hope that my story has had some sort of impact on you. I hope that you have seen the adversity I've had to overcome in my life to even be at this point now. Because one of the things that I did leave out is after I graduated college, I graduated with a 3.82 GPA. Top of my class, graduated with honors, and was accepted into Alpha Beta Kappa National Honor Society. Went out and started applying for accounting jobs, for business jobs, any job I could. Started putting in my resumes. Probably put in 100 applications and resumes at different places for the positions I wanted. They said, you're very well qualified. We just can't work with you because you messed up when you were very young in your life. We can't give you a second chance. Now, I was released from prison. They said you had paid your debt to society. How am I 31 years old now, and I got put in prison when I was 20, a 4-year sentence turned into a life sentence for me? Graduated top of my class. Honestly, could have went to MIT or anywhere I wanted to if I would have just hung in there and got, did what I wanted to do. Honestly, I'm not bragging, not one bit. You can ask anybody that knows me that I've ever helped. They know I know my shit, and I know my shit. I'm just confident about my abilities. And you don't have to be a college graduate to do this. You can be a high school dropout. It don't matter. We accept every single person as they are. Because what happened was when I went on these interviews, they broke out legal pads and they said, tell us about your past. Tell us about your background. And they weren't interested in my skills and qualifications. They were more interested in how I messed up when I was 20 years old. That's just not fair to me. When I joined Empower Network, they didn't ask me about my background. They said, hey, you can do this. And so I'm sitting here telling you today, you can do this. You can absolutely do this. If I can do this, somebody who has spent half his life in trouble, messed up on the wrong side of the law, and then came out and tried to make a difference in the world, and I'm making a difference in the world today. Empower Network has given me the power that I need to make a difference in the world today. And you can do the same thing. You can make a difference. No matter if you've been in trouble before. I'm not telling you you have to be in some sort of trouble or anything else. But you can absolutely do this. If you were a librarian or a congressman who just always walked the straight line and the straight path, I'm not going to say a congressman done that because we all know those people, but I don't care I don't care what your background is. Empower Network accepts everybody as they are. And no matter how small you think your voice is, it's absolutely a huge voice because somebody needs to hear your story just like you needed to hear mine. Just like you needed to hear my story, somebody out there needs to hear yours. So let me go over here to the Hangout, to the questions. And let's see what we've got here. Joshua from Nigeria, MinerCashFreebies.com is not up yet. Buddy, I've emailed you several times. I've told you to go read the instructions, watch the videos. I mean, honestly, it's there. You're an international user. It tells you have to go out and share your link with people, get people to sign up for that link, right? And then once you do, you get a credit. You email support and tell them to turn your account green. Trade that sign up for a credit. That turns your account green, and that gives you the ability to start making commissions, right? That's the only thing I can tell you. That's it, right? Link up to Dave from South Africa. If you want to link up to Dave from South Africa, go for it, bro. His name's Dave Reineke. Go find him on Facebook. But yeah, that's all I can tell you, bro. I've tried to tell you several times to go do that. If you can't do that, then I'm sorry. That's the only help I can give you, right? It's all there. It's all there for you. I don't know what else to tell you. Anybody got any legit questions? Anybody got any real questions out there? Let's see, Jennifer. Let's see, Jennifer. This was a powerful hangout, I think. Thank you, Jennifer, for showing up. Let me tell you all about Jennifer Hill. She is one of the hardest, most driven people that I know. A few weeks ago, her laptop messed up on her. She had it in the shop, and they gave her the runaround for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I'm still not sure if she even has her laptop back at this point. But she has been doing this business from her cell phone, right? So there's no excuses why anybody out there can't do this from their cell phone if they have to, right? Jennifer is truly a motivation, right? She's truly an inspiration. I'm so proud of you, Jennifer. You just keep going because, people out there would, you've already got such a following that you don't even know about, right? And people out there, you definitely want to connect with Jennifer because she will literally drive you in the right direction. She is one of the most giving people I know. Anything you put out there, she's liking or sharing it on Facebook, in our group. She'll go over to your blog, she'll comment, she'll read your stuff. Literally one of my favorite people online. Carl, thanks, man. I can't thank you enough. You're here every single week, man, and the things you share are super powerful. Carl is up in Canada, and Carl is just an amazing person that you definitely want to connect with. He's an old rocker, right? So he likes he's got guitars and stuff, and he just is very passionate about this business. He's very passionate about what he does. So yeah, definitely connect with Carl, and you connect with any of us on Facebook. We're going to chat with you back and forth or anything else, right? So definitely connect with me. You can find me on Facebook, Jeff Sherwood. You can find Carl. You can find Jennifer on Facebook. Johnny's my cousin, man, and I'm super proud of this guy. This guy got me into this business. I wouldn't be here talking to you right now without Johnny. Me and Johnny used to actually do hangouts together, and you know, we decided that we could reach absolutely way more people if we divide and conquer. So that's our strategy now, is to divide and conquer. I needed to tell my story like that, and as you could tell, it took me an hour and 15 minutes to tell that story. So that's why we decided to divide and conquer, because that's the only way we can legitimately do it and tell both of our stories. We both have very powerful stories that we need to get out there, because somebody somewhere needs to hear our stories, and they need to hear both of our stories. And there's no way, absolutely, without lasting for 3 hours, that we could both get our stories in there, right? So yeah, definitely Johnny's going to have his hangout starting up really, really soon. And I'm going to help him get all that set up. So guys, you definitely want to start attending Johnny's hangouts, because if you thought my story was powerful, you're going to love Johnny's, right? Johnny, you're the man, dude. You really are. Let's see here. I got Carl here. Similar stories. Yeah, man. It only makes you stronger, because here's the thing, guys. And I did a video about this the other day. Life is not about what happens to you. It's about how you respond after the things happen, right? It's about what you do after the fact. So people can sit there and take an ass whooping from life and say, hey, I'm going to let life defeat me. Or you can take an ass whooping from life and pull yourself up and say, hey, life does not have a hold on me. I'm a stronger person than that. And every time you do that, it makes you that much stronger, right? It's going to make you so much more strong than what you would be if you just said, well, my car got repoed, this and that and the other. God, life just sucked. And you do nothing. Now, if something like that happens to you, you can say, hey, my car got repoed, lost my dog, lost my house, and you can turn it into a country song. And you can say, hey, but I joined this Empower Network, and now I have hope. I have hope for my future. I have hope that through my story, I can go out and reach thousands of other people, right? I have hope that I can go out and reach 5 people a month with my story, right? And I'm going to do this with or without you. I'd rather do it with you, but I'm still going to be sitting here sharing my story with or without you. And sharing my story is not all I do. It's part of what I do. This is not a requirement for you to do this business. Doing hangouts is not a requirement for you to do this business. There are tons of other things that you can do to be successful in this business. I know people right now who are making 6 figures who don't have a hangout, who don't, you know, they have one area and they focus on that one area and they kill it in that one area. And that's what I help people to do, is find that area for themselves, right? So that's what I encourage you to do, is hit that Get Access Now button. Take one of those remaining spots. Say, hey, today is the day I'm going to change my life. Today is the day I'm going to pull myself up by my bootstraps and change my life forever. Make that decision, because I promise you're going to know it's the best decision you have ever made. I'm telling you that from 7 years of experience in internet marketing, coming from a point where I've made thousands of dollars online. There was one point 2 weeks ago, in one day, with 1 hour of work, I made $550 with 1 hour of work. And that didn't come from one person. That didn't come from me going out and begging for sales. Hell, you know how many people I had to talk to make that kind of money? None. Zero. Why would I not want to show you how to do that same thing? Take one of those 4 spots that's left, because if you don't, somebody else will. I guarantee it. It's proven. I've done it before. Let's see, we got, God bless you, Jeff. You need to consider motivational speaking. God bless you and love you. May your sister and nephew rest in peace, Father Henry. Thank you very much, Father Henry. I really appreciate that a lot. And that means a lot to me. And, you know, I don't tell these stories for anybody out there to feel sorry for me. I don't tell them these stories for anybody to say, that poor guy. You know, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people to say, look what this guy's been through, and look at what I've been complaining about in my life. And, you know, even for myself, I do that a lot, you know, because I can sit and complain about what I've been through in my life all I want to, right? Somewhere, somebody is going through something way worse than what I've already been through. So it's not even fair for me to complain a little bit about my life. I keep pushing forward no matter what, right? Because that's what life is about. We only live this life one time. Do you really want to sit on the sidelines and watch other people live life, or do you want to be on the field playing the game? I want to be the player. I want to be the star quarterback. That's me, right? And if you don't want to be a star quarterback, there's plenty of other positions that you can play, right? Because we're building one of the largest communities in online network marketing history. And what I have learned, I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement. I can't even tell you the things I learned. That's why I can only share what my biggest breakthrough was from Vegas. And it was that I needed to tell that story I just told you, right? Because people out there need to know I'm a real person. I've been through a lot of shit, and I'm still standing. Thank you, haters, for getting me to this point. Because without that hatred, without those people who said, hey, this guy can't make it anywhere. I had a high school teacher one time tell me, Jeff, you ain't never going to be shit, ever. Look at me now. Look at me now. Oh, I'm getting paper. Fuck you, bitch. I'm still standing. And for any teacher out there that tells any student anything like that, you should just quit teaching. I'm still standing. Thank you for giving me motivation to be who I am today. And with that, guys, if anybody has any more questions, please put them in here because I want to get everybody's questions answered before I leave this hangout tonight. I'm going to wrap it up in about 5 minutes. I love conversating with everybody. So, like I said, please, if you think this story will reach anybody at all, please hit those social buttons. I would love that. It would very much help me out. Share this on Facebook. Share this on Twitter. Share this on Google+, Pinterest, anywhere else that you can share this for me. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you're already a part of my team, if you're already a part of Empower Network, all you have to do is right above in the address bar, replace my affiliate ID with your own affiliate ID, and you'll get credit for any sales that you make. Anybody that joins will join your team, right? And so I'm looking for strong individuals with a like-minded purpose like mine who want to go out and help themselves and help others at the same time, because that's how we grow a strong community, is by doing that. And so if I can help people to do that, then that's my goal. Carl says, this business is the bomb. And he's not lying. This business is the bomb. And if you haven't joined, I would not have met all of these amazing people. So he's telling you guys, I mean, we're not lying. We're not lying. This is an amazing community of people we have. I have more friends online than I have offline. Now, don't make me a loser, but you know just as well as I do. How many friends can you call in the middle of the night to come change a spare tire for you? Not many, maybe two. Maybe two. Probably one. So it's not a popularity game, right? But the thing is, if I need something done online, I guarantee you I can go ask the people in my community for help. They're going to go out and they're going to do everything in their power they can to help me. You know why? Because every time they ask me for help, I'm going to do the same thing for them. We got each other's back. And it's the same for you. If you're sitting there on the fence right now, should I click this button? Should I click this button? You should definitely click that button, because you're going to get the same help. You're going to get the same support. Now, if you go out and sell Mary Kay, who's going to help you? You go out and sell it works. It might work. I don't know. I haven't tried it. But I know a lot of businesses that don't work. I know this one does. I know this one will give you the opportunity that you've been looking for a long time. And, you know, like I said, I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I'm trying to present this opportunity to you as just that, the opportunity, right? This is the opportunity. It's not just another opportunity. Oh, God, it's just one of those things. Here comes one of those things again. It's one of them pyramid things. If I get paid, he gets paid, and Uncle John gets paid. And no, it's not one of those. This is one of those real deal legit businesses that you should definitely jump in if you want an online business. If you want to make a residual income, this is the way to do it, because that income just keeps growing day after day, month after month, right? So with that, guys, if nobody else has any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. I really sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate you being here tonight. I'm going to be here next Wednesday at the same time. This day may change. I may change from Wednesdays to another day. If I do, I'll let you know with plenty of advance so that you can make better plans. But I plan on having different people on, and I want to make it convenient for everybody to schedule, you know, to be on. I want to get the community more involved and things like that. So there's going to be a lot of big things happening. But I sincerely appreciate you being here tonight, and I hope that you were one of those people. My phone just keeps going off over here, so hope you're one of those people, and I can't wait to work with you. If you're one of those people who signed up tonight, I'll be setting up a coaching call with you for tomorrow. So be looking at your email. I'll email you right after this hangout so that we can get that coaching call set up. And if you're watching the replay and you're one of those people, then I'll email you as soon as it will alert me on my phone when you sign up. So as soon as I get that email, I'll be getting in touch with you so we can get a coaching call, and so that I can find out where you're at and where you want to go, and I can help you get there, right? Because that's your opportunity for me to take you by the hand and show you step by step by step how to get where you want to go, right? With that being said, I'm Jeff Sherwood, and this has been an awesome Wednesday hangout. Thank you so much for being here.